to look at how to pick up and knit stitches along a 45-degree diagonal. So this triangle has been created by casting on 24 stitches and then on each right side row making a decrease on the right edge. And so that results in a triangle of this shape. Now, when we pick up stitches generally on garter stitch material, we want to pick up the stitches in the garter stitch bump. And here, because we're on an angle, we need to pick up more stitches than we would normally pick. Normally we'd pick up a stitch for a straight edge on one in each garter stitch bump, and that would be the perfect ratio. But because this is a 45-degree angle, this is a longer edge, and instead of 24 stitches, it's going to require 34 stitches. So that means I'm not going to have a bump for each stitch that I need to pick up. So I'm going to be picking up some extra stitches in the legs in between the bumps. And because it's a long edge, I can very easily lose track of how many stitches I've picked up and, the ratio of everything. So what I do is I put a marker after the middle garter stitch ridge, which is after the 12th ridge. So we have a marker here at the 12th ridge dividing this line or edge in half. So for every 2 stitches that I pick up in a garter stitch bump, I want to pick up 1 in a leg. So let's get started with that in mind. So we'll go to the first garter stitch bump here, and with my yarn, which is Malabrigo worsted today, which is rolling around here, we'll pick up a stitch in this first bump. So I'm going to go and pick up in the leg next to it too, just to start out. And so then I'll start my bump bump leg rhythm here. So now I'm going to do bump, bump, and then leg. So the leg is this little stitch on the edge in between the 2 bumps. Leg. And I'm just going to continue bump, bump, leg. Sometimes my bump is a little tight. Bump, whoop, bump, bump, leg. Bump, bump, leg. Okay, so we're almost at the marker, so let's count and see how many stitches are on here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay, so I need 3 more stitches before I get to the marker. So I've got 2 bumps left and 1 leg, so I'm going to make a stitch in each of those. So you have to, make sure that you check when you're getting close to the end of the section, so because you might need to make some last-minute adjustments. Okay, so now I've got 17 stitches there. I'm going to take out this marker. Well, actually, I think I'm going to put the marker on the needle after the 17th stitch to make it easier to count from here on out. This means that we now have our 34 stitches, and I will knit this so that you can see what this looks like. All right, so there. So that's the pick up and knit. Looks pretty good. Pretty even. So, and again, we want to pick up in every bump, and we pick up in a leg when we need to. So, and always for the blankets in my book, always follow the instructions on, how many stitches to pick up across an edge. You can divide the edge into parts, by folding it and placing markers or counting the number of ridges till you get to the middle or till you get to a third, or however you've decided to divide it. But divide and conquer, that's the way to do it. So, okay, I hope this helped with picking up and knitting on diagonal edges. Happy knitting!